Hello, how's it going? We finished Volume 2, so I'm doing zones now. I don't know if this will be any good. I'm going to start with Northshire Valley and Elwynn Forest, because humans are kind of first in the list. And then I'll do orcs next week, if people actually enjoy this. Also, I'm going to start off doing the classic versions of the zones rather than the Cataclysm ones. But let's go!
The noble humans of Stormwind are a proud, tenacious race. Though the recent invasion of the demonic Burning Legion decimated their sister kingdom of Lordaeron, the defenders of Stormwind stand vigilant against any who would threaten the sanctity of their lands. Nestled in the foothills of Elwynn Forest, Stormwind City is one of the last bastions of human power in the world. Ruled by the Child King Anduin Wrynn, the people of Stormwind remain steadfast in their commitment to the Grand Alliance. Backed by their stalwart allies, the armies of Stormwind have been called away to fight the savage Horde on distant battlefields. With the armies gone, the defense of Stormwind now falls to its proud citizens. You must defend the kingdom against the foul mongrels that encroach upon it, and hunt down the subversive traitors who seek to destroy it from within. Now is the time for heroes. Now humanity's greatest chapter can be told.
And humanity's greatest chapter starts with this guy, Bolk Bogan. Bolk begins his adventures in the pristine valley of Northshire, located in Elwynn Forest. During the Second War, control of this area had been taken by Cho'Gall's Twilight Hammer clan, but now the valley is home to both the rebuilt Northshire Abbey and the Northshire Vineyards. The Abbey is being used as a recruitment and training centre for anyone who's willing to keep the kingdom safe. And Bolk has decided he wants to do that because he's a nice bloke. Unfortunately, the area seems to be suffering with a bit of a kobold infestation. Bolk met the Marshal of the Stormwind Army assigned to Northshire Valley, Douglas MacBride. The Marshal explained that the human lands were under threat, so many of Stormwind's forces were away. This had led to many corrupt and lawless groups thriving within the kingdom's borders. Marshal MacBride then gave Bolk his first quest. Go out and kill 8 of the kobolds infest in the woods to the north. And Bolk was like, just 8, not 7 or 9. So Bolk killed a very specific number of kobolds. He couldn't help but feel a little bit sad about it. They were vicious, but they were also kind of endearing. Just little goofy bearded rats with candles on their heads. Once he'd made his 8th kill, a golden glow enveloped him and a loud whooshing noise made him jump. But he felt a little bit stronger now. He then returned to the Marshal to inform him of his progress. The Marshal gave him 25 copper for his trouble. Bolk was new to the adventurer business, but even he knew 25 copper was taking the piss. But he politely accepted. He wasn't in it for the money. However, the kobold infestation was a little bit worse than the Marshal had thought. A number of them were camped near the Echo Ridge mine, so the Marshal asked him to kill another 10 of them. Bolk considered asking why the Marshal always gave such a specific number, but he thought better of it. He headed north and found the kobold camp. As he carried out his quest, he noticed that they'd taken control of the mine itself. He returned to the Abbey to inform the Marshal of his findings. MacBride wasn't happy to hear this news and immediately requested that Bolk return to the mine and clear them out. What are there, like 8 of them? There's probably 8 of them. Go kill 8. Also, here's 40 copper for the 10 you killed before. Cheers, big spender. By this point, Bolk was becoming accustomed to mindlessly slaughtering kobolds. He cleared the mine out with relative ease and returned to the Abbey. Upon his return, the Marshal expressed his gratitude and offered Bolk the choice of either a belt, some boots or some gloves. Collectively, they were worth about 20 copper, so Bolk was a little bit annoyed that he couldn't just have all of them. But MacBride explained that they were each made of a different material, so really he should just pick the one that's relevant to his class. MacBride then informed him that his work in Northshire was done. You've proven yourself, Bolk. Take these papers and head to Goldshire. Give them to Marshal Duggan, and he'll give you your next task. Now Bolk's adventure could really begin. He made the short journey to the village of Goldshire. When he arrived, he found Marshal Duggan fairly easily, because the guy had a huge yellow question mark above his head. Duggan explained that the mine in Goldshire wasn't the only one with a kobold problem. There's reports that the Fargo Deep mine, slightly south of here, has been infested by the buggers as well. Go check it out, will ya? Bolk was also approached by some random bloke before he could leave. He seemed like a helpful guy. Do me a favour. Last time I was over by the McClaw Vineyards, the lady there was crying. I'm worried about her, so can you go and check she's okay? So you heard a lady crying, and you were so worried, you just left. Yeah, pretty much. Bolk figured the vineyard thing would be over pretty quickly, but he was wrong. He entered the cottage there and found that the woman was still bloody crying. It was a bit awkward, to be honest. She explained through her weird cry noises that her family, the McClaws, had a feud with the family at the local farm, the Stonefields, and she was in love with the Stonefield boy, Tommy Joe. So Bulk ended up walking backwards and forwards all over the place in an effort to create an invisibility potion, so Maybelle McClaw could visit Tommy Joe Stonefield. Not so they could run away and elope and live happily ever after, just so she could visit him. Once. He also picked up some quests at the Stonefield farm. Some lady wanted Bulk to kill a big pig called Princess. This was a prized pig that belonged to yet another family, the Brackwells. But it was eating this lady's vegetables or something, so she hated it. And another lady was bitching about her lost necklace. She was pretty adamant Billy McClaw had stolen it. Bloody no good, dirty rotten McClaws. Turned out Billy totally had stolen it, but then lost it near the Fargo Deep Mine, where it was picked up by a kobold named Goldtooth. So Bulk killed that gangster kobold and retrieved the necklace. And all was right in the world. He'd also made sure to scout the Fargo Deep Mine, and Marshal Duggan was indeed correct. There were definitely kobolds there. Marshal Duggan then wanted Bulk to scout out another mine, the Jasper Lode mine. Bulk was starting to wonder if Duggan also wanted him to kill any kobolds he found there, but the guy just said scout the mines, so that's all he did. And again, there were definitely kobolds there. Another guy, called Remy Two Times, because he says the words at the end of his sentences twice, was desperately trying to convince Marshal Duggan that some Murlocs in the area were a threat. Duggan thought this was absolutely ridiculous, but he sent Bulk to report to Guard Thomas and check it out. The guard explained some of his buddies were missing, and upon further investigation, turned out Guard Thomas's mates were dead. This was proof that the Murlocs were indeed a threat, so Bulk slaughtered loads of them. In a nearby logging camp, Bulk completed some more menial tasks, protecting them from the local wildlife. To be fair, it was wolves and bears, not like bunnies. To finish off Bulk's adventures in Elwynn Forest, he was sent to Westbrook Garrison. They had a bit of a gnoll problem, but Bulk made quick work of the gnolls and faced their leader, Hogger. This was the most ridiculously difficult fight he'd ever had in his life, because Hogger was the Chuck Norris of gnolls. But he was victorious. Hogger dropped a schedule that belonged to someone called the Collector. This mysterious person was stealing from the mines within Elwynn Forest. Stealing from the kingdom he was. That bloody swine. Upon further investigation, Bulk managed to locate the Collector and kill him. The Collector was wearing a ring from the old Stonemasons Guild in Stormwind. Little did Bulk know, the old Stonemasons Guild had formed the Defias Brotherhood, following the civil unrest in Stormwind after the Second War. It was now time for Bulk to head out into the world. His next stop was Westfall, but beyond that, who knows what adventures and dangers he'll face. And we're leaving it there! So it turns out doing the original zone, rather than the updated Cataclysm version, is actually harder. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this. If people like it, I'll keep going, and next week I'll do Valley of Trials and Durotar for the Orcs. As always, thanks very much to the patrons. If anyone would like to support the channel in that way, links in the description. And there's a link to the Discord server in there as well. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and see ya!